Good day, Dr. Nabila. My name is Tamilan son of Gunaratnam, metric number CE190196. So today, my part of the group project is to explain about the kidney, as I have used the application of eDrawMax to illustrate the small particles and the working principle of the kidney. So as you can see, there are a lot of parts in the kidney. So first of all, I'd like to explain about the cortex. Cortex is the outer part of kidney which is surrounded on its outer edges by the renal capsule, a layer of fatty tissue. So this layer of fatty tissue helps to protect the kidney from any damages. So next you can see is renal pyramids. Renal pyramid is a kidney tissue that is shaped like cones, as they are usually in the number of from 7 to 18 in a kidney. Next is the pelvis. Pelvis is the area or the center of the kidney where the urine is collected and is funneled into the ureter, the tube that connects the kidney to the bladder. Next is the medulla. Renal medulla is to regulate concentration of the urine. The urine flows from collecting ducts into the renal salicyles and pelvis. Next, as you can see, the renal columns. Renal columns are located in between the renal pyramids, and then it is a medullary extension of the renal cortex in between the renal pyramids, which each column consists of lines and blood vessels and the urinary tubes of fibrous materials. Next is the calyx, which is a minor calyx and major calyx. So calyx tend to work as the chambers of the kidney through which urine passes, and the minor calyx around the apex of the renal pyramid. Next is where I would like to talk about the ureter, where ureter is the muscles in the which works as walls to tighten and relax the force of urine flow up and down away from the kidney. Next is where I would like to explain about the renal pelvis, the area at the center of the kidney where urine is collected and funneled as well. Next is renal vein, the main blood vessel that carries blood from the kidney and ureter to the inferior vena cava. So this vein works as the main function to transport the blood to the heart. Next is the renal artery, where the large blood vessels that carry blood from heart to kidney as well. So this is that's all from my part about the illustration. I'll explain the next part in the next video. Thank you. In this part of this video, I'd like to explain about the anatomy of the kidneys. So as you can see, the kidneys are two reddish brown bean-shaped organs found in the vertebrates. And in an adult human, it is about 12 centimeters long. They receive blood from paired renal arteries. Blood exits into the paired renal veins. The kidneys are part of excretory system or the urinary system. The system is associated with the excretion of metabolic bases and the formation as well as excretion of urine. Other organs of the systems are the ureter, bladder, and urethra. How does kidney works? Kidneys are in the size of our fist, which are located either side of the spine at the lowest level of the rib cage. Kidney contains millions of nephrons in the microscopical unit of kidneys. Nephrons works to regulate bloods and urines. A nephron consists of filtering unit of tiny blood vessels called as glomerulus attached to a tubule. When blood enters the glomerulus, it is filtered and the remaining fluid that passes along the tubule in the uh, regulated through the kidneys. In the tubule, chemicals and waters are either added or removed from the filtered fluid according to the body's need, the final product being the urine that we excrete. So, about the functionality of the kidney. Kidney functions as to filter the blood in our body and helps to remove waste while balancing body fluid balance. They provide several functions, which are as like controlling water balance, removing toxins and water products from the body, controlling blood pressure, controlling acid-base balance. So, talking about controlling water balance, kidney plays a major role in the balancing and controlling water level in the body. Given a solid load can be excreted in a variable volume of urine according to water's availability. So, as long as we drink a lot of waters to regulate our kidneys, uh, we will keep our kidney healthy. So removing toxins and waste products from the body. Kidneys are meant to work as soluble or filters to clear out them of the body as it is flowed out as urine, while the clean blood is circulated to the body back. The third one is where we talk about the controlling the blood pressure. Renin is a type of enzyme that is produced in the liver to angiotensin, which is then converted in the lungs to angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 narrows blood vessels and increases blood pressure as a result. The fourth one is about controlling acid-base balance. Acid in the body is regulated, which is reflected in pH value. The normal pH value of the blood is around 7.35 to 7.45. So to maintain this healthy range, the kidneys excrete acids and bases when there is an excess of them to retain these compounds when the body lacks them. So that is all from my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hazari binti Hazani. My metric number is CE190051. Today I want to present my part. I choose the human heart and I design the heart by using a monster mesh demo, and this is my heart that I designed. Okay, for the structure of the heart, this is pulmonary artery, this is aorta, this is left ventricle, and this is right ventricle, and this is the right atrium, is the mitral valve, pulmonary vein, and this with the bright color is the interventricular septum. That's all for me that I explained about the structure of the heart. Now I will explain about the heart functionality. What is heart? Heart is a fist-sized organ that pumps the blood through the body, control the rhythm and speed of the heart rate, and maintain the blood pressure. It is a primary organ in the circulatory system, and it's contained four main sections that made of muscle and powered by electrical impulse. Our brain and nervous system direct to the heart function. What is heart chambers? Heart is divided into four chambers. Two chambers on the top and two on the bottom, one on each side of the heart. For the right atrium, it contains a two large veins that deliver oxygen poor blood to the right atrium. The superior vena cava carries the blood from the upper body. The inferior vena cava brings blood from the lower body. And lastly, it contains the right atrium pump the blood to the right ventricle. For the right ventricle, the lower right chambers pump the oxygen for blood to the lung through the pulmonary artery, and lung reload blood with the oxygen. For the left atrium, after the lung fill blood with oxygen, the pulmonary vein carry the blood to the left atrium, and these upper chambers pump the blood to the left ventricle. Next, left ventricle. The left ventricle is slightly larger than the right, and it pumps the oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body. What is heart valve? It located between the heart chambers, open and close to allow the blood to flow through. The atrioventricular valve open between the upper and lower heart chambers. It includes the tricuspid valve, which is a door between the right atrium and right ventricle. Second is mitral valve. It is a door between the left atrium and left ventricle. Second is semilunar valve, open when the blood flow out of our ventricle. First is aortic valve. It open when the blood flow out to the left ventricle to the aorta, and the second is pulmonary valve, which is it open when the blood flow from the right ventricle to the pulmonary arteries. What is blood vessel? Heart pump blood through the three types of blood vessel. Number 1, arteries carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to the body tissue. The exception is the pulmonary arteries, which go to the lung. Second, vein carry oxygen-poor blood back to the heart. And lastly, capillary are small blood vessels where the body exchange body rich and oxygen poor. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Mulhaika bin Faizul, BU190181. I'm from Group 4. Now I will present my 3D model organ, which is I choose pancreas. Okay, the pancreas is an organ located in abdomen. It plays an essential role in converting the food we eat into food for the body cell. The pancreas has two main functions. For the first one is an exocrine function that help in digestion, and one more is an endocrine function that regulated blood sugar. Okay, in the pancreas, that have four parts. For the first one is tail, body, neck, and head. Okay, for the exocrine function, the pancreas contains exocrine glands that produce enzymes important to digestion. These enzymes include trypsin and chymotrypsin to digest protein, amylase for digestion of carbohydrate, and lipase to break down fat. When food enter the stomach, the pancreatic juice release into a system of duct that culminates in the pancreatic duct. The pancreatic duct join the common bile duct to a form of the ampulla of Vater, which is located at the first portion, the small intestine, that called duodenum. The common bile duct originated in the liver and the gallbladder and produce another important digestive juice that called bile. The pancreatic juice and bile that are released into duodenum help the body digest fats, carbohydrates, and protein. Okay, for the next endocrine function, the endocrine component of the pancreas consists of islet cells that create and release important hormones directly into the bloodstream. Two of the main pancreatic hormones are insulin, which is act as to the lower blood sugar, and glucagon, which is act to raise blood sugar. Maintaining proper blood sugar level is crucial function of the key organ, including the brain, liver, and the kidney. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Khairul Ilkwan bin Hamdan. My number matrix CE 10216. I will continue my parts. It is for the liver. This is my design for the liver. For the design, I use monster mesh for the design for this design for my parts liver. I'll continue for these functions of liver. For this function, for the liver function, what is the liver? The liver is a large organ in abdomen that perform many important body function, including blood filtering. It is also considered a gland because it makes chemical the body needs. Certain disease and lifestyle can damage the liver, but there are many ways to protect the vital organ. You can see the liver is located in the upper right hand portion of the abdominal cavity beneath the diaphragm and on top the stomach, right kidney, and intestine. Shaped like cone, the liver is a dark reddish brown organ that weighs about 3 pounds. There are two distinct sources that supply blood to the liver. The two is oxygenate blood flows in from the hepatic artery. Nutrient-rich blood flows in the hepatic bottom vein. And functions for the liver. More than 500 vital functions have been identified with the liver. Some more well-known functions include the following. Production of bile, which help carry away waste and break down fats in the small intestine during digestion. Production of certain proteins for blood plasma. Production of cholesterol and special proteins to help carry fats to the body. Regulation of blood level of amino acids, which form the building blocks of proteins. processing of hemoglobin for use of its iron content the liver stores iron. It is functions for the liver. When the liver has broken down harmful substance, its byproducts are extracted into the blood. Bile byproducts enter the intestine and leave the body in the form of feces. Blood byproducts are filtered out by the kidney and leave the body in the form of urine. This is functions for the liver. It's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Nurhani Shazwani binti Mokhtar, my matric number CE190207. I will present on my part, which is design an organ using Monster Mesh software. I'm using lung. So let's start. First of all, we import the template image. Alright, and then we select lung. Okay, after that, we click draw and we just draw following the original image. Slowly, just follow the original image that we already import. Okay, just follow. Slowly follow the original image, draw, right. And then after we finish, we click inflict so that it appear 3D for the design. Okay, after that, we click animate. Alright, it's animate for the design, so we can move an organ that we already designed. Alright, after that, I will explain the function. Next, respiratory system, which is I'm choosing lung. And function of lung. The primary function of the lung is to take in air from the surrounding environment and transport it into the bloodstream. It flows throughout the body from there. In order for the organ to breathe effectively, they need assistance from other bodily components. The diaphragm muscle, the intercostal muscle between the rib, the abdominal muscle, and associationally even the neck muscle are all used to breathe. Next, the diaphragm is a dome muscle that sits below the lungs and it dome at its top. Most of the labor required for breathing is powered by it. As it contracts, it moves down, allowing more space in the chest cavity and increasing the lungs' capacity to expand. As the chest cavity volume increases, the pressure inside goes down, sucking in the air through the nose or mouth and down into the lungs. As the diaphragm relaxes and turns to its resting position, the lung volume decreases because the pressure inside the chest cavity goes up and the lung expels the air. The lung works similarly to bellows, sucking in air for oxygen as they expand. The carbon dioxide waste exchange during exhalation is pushed out as they compress. Next, the trachea, also known as the windpipe, transport air from the nose or mouth. It then enters the carina region. The windpipe divides at the carina, resulting in two main streams. Bronchi, the left lung is served by one of the tubes, while the right lung is served by the others. From there, similar to branches on a tree, the pipe-like bronchi split again into smaller bronchi and then even smaller bronchioles. The alveoli, which are tiny air sacs, are where this ever-decreasing pipework comes to an end. Gas exchange takes place in this area. That's all from me. Thank you. I will pass to others group member.